Welcome back to Emotional Mojo. If you ever thought cults didn't exist in the modern world, think again. A woman named Elle Benet grew up in a world of fear, abuse, and obsession, but she escaped, and she is here to share her amazing story. Welcome, Elle.
Hi.
Thanks for coming. And we got to talk about this, your new book. It's called They Made Me Do It, a cult survivor's memoir of life after the cult. Truly fascinating. And can we just kind of set things up here? Just tell us a little bit about how you were in this situation to begin with, and was it a religious cult? Give us a little background.
Oh, sure. Yes, it was a religious cult, and I was actually born into it. A lot of people, they compare our cult to Christian Science. And what the difference is with Christian Science is they have exceptions, and some of their exceptions are general surgery you can have for like broken limbs. And
medical intervention.
And medical intervention. But within ours, there is no exception. For example, my mother, she has told the story when she was in a car accident and her arm got dislocated because she flew into the front seat. And her father wanted to adjust her limb, but he couldn't because she was in so much pain, he couldn't bear it. So to this day, you know, up until her passing actually, she has a locked arm.
They never took her to a doctor?
They never took her to a doctor.
She wasn't allowed to go to a doctor?
No, and so there are no exceptions within our cult.
So walk us through the day-to-day when you're in a cult, because we hear about it all the time, we read about it, but we don't truly know, and it's interesting to have someone here who went through it. What is life like?
Very restrictive, and as a child, you don't understand because you have nothing to compare it to.
Right.
There was no higher education, was not condoned, nor medical intervention, and unfortunately, as a result of that, a lot of children lost their lives. And that was really difficult to go through, especially since they were so close to me.
But how did you break away from it? Because that's the hardest
Yeah,
part.
what was
is
the
to get out of the
turning point
cult.
here? How did that happen?
It is, and it's a mental hold that it has on you. And when I was 18, I made the decision that it wasn't for me. I'm finished living my life conforming to the beliefs of someone else. And I wanted to explore this world that I was not able to do. I couldn't socialize with people outside.
And at 18, were you, quote, allowed to leave then?
I
or
was
were there
not allowed.
restrictions?
No. There were
You had to
restrictions.
leave everyone behind, right? You must have had to cut
Yes.
off all of your family.
Yeah, and it was that was the repercussion for doing so. But I was so curious about this outside world. It was worth it to me.
And what was the fear they used to keep you in the group?
The fear that they told was outside they won't make it to heaven. These people are not happy.
Okay.
But that's
Yes.
the cult. The cult always does it. It says that you can't trust the outside world. You can only
can't.
trust us. And there's usually one central leader.
Yes.
You have this beautiful aura that tells me that you've forgiven everyone. How did you do that?
I do, because I hold no resentment. It does not serve me, and it doesn't
But
allow
how did you
me
do
to
that?
move
That's the
on.
hardest thing. That's what we teach on this show every day.
Yeah.
Letting
How did
go,
you make that
forgiveness,
choice?
let go of resentment. How did you do that?
It took years. It took years. It wasn't something that happened overnight. And when I did, it was a little bit at a time. And my book actually helped me. It started as a journal to get me through a very difficult period.
So journaling helped you to let out
it
a lot of
does.
the emotion?
It was very therapeutic.
And you're doing some amazing things now as well, helping other women, and you've created this website. Can you quickly tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, the site is Girls United, and it's a fashion site. I was unable to explore my fashion side.
express yourself.
And express myself. So I thought it was a great idea to develop a fashion site based on that.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us. And she's going to join us
Thank you,
later
Elle.
in the show.
Thank
She
you.
has some amazing thoughts on Ariel Castro's case and the women who survived being held captive for more than 10 years. So we'll check in with that as well. Her book is called They Made Me Do It, a cult survivor's memoir of life after the cult. Check that out. And don't go anywhere. Emotional Mojo will be back in just a minute.
Make it rise. I feel so high. I come alive. I need to be free with you tonight.